Good evening all, welcome back to the channel. Happy healing with Luke. I was watching that Millwall podcast earlier on this evening, and yeah, I've got to say it was quite moving and quite touching. It actually hit home. I'd done a video on the 10th of September for World Suicide Prevention Day, and I've got to give a little mention for a guy I've never met. To be honest, I never heard of before watching the show this evening. So Mick and the guys, thank you for that moving tribute to your friend Mick, Jonny Gascoigne, Sheffield United stroke Millwall fan. It was quite touching to watch it, to be honest, and condolences to Kevin and your family and John's friends. Sad times, very, very, very sad times. And Mick quite rightly hit home on statistics. You know, I've done a video on mental health statistics earlier on today, and it's the first time I've done that. But the one statistic that Mick hit home on was how many are taking their lives. You know, the numbers are, as I said in the video I put out, and Mick touched on it tonight, you know, worldwide 700,000 a year in 2023 alone, and 115 people a week in the UK. I mean, it's, yeah, I wasn't going to do another one of these videos for a while on this subject matter, but you know, it's one I think probably as high as 80% of us know someone or know of someone who has unfortunately been in a dark enough position to take their life. And it is a subject that has a huge stigma behind it, and we're all aware of stigma and what it is. And the World Health Organization and the NHS and all the local mental health authorities and associations, etc., they do great work to help bring the numbers down. And this year's initiative was to start a conversation, encouraging people to talk. If you're gonna get rid of something, you know, you're gonna have to talk about it. And I believe we're getting better at talking about it. I mean, there's a lot on social media encouraging people to talk. I've done a previous video on what to say, when to say, how to say. I might do another one a little bit more in depth, and looking back on it, I probably could have done a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, it is a really hard subject matter on mental health. You know, the numbers are just astronomically high. I mean, I question prevention. Why not awareness? But there's a lot of awareness, as I said in my video. We've got a lot of awareness out there, but I think it's just got to be persistent, and we've got to keep pushing it home. Offer those safe places, keep talking about those safe places, keep offering those safe places, keep encouraging people to talk, teach people the signs of their loved ones going through something, their close relations, their friends, their siblings, work colleagues. You know, just across the board, we need to just encourage more. And I said something in my video earlier on this evening about bear with me, sorry, it's just a hard subject, isn't it, even to talk about it in this vein is difficult. You know, it really, really is extremely, out of all the stigmas on mental health, I believe this one to be the hardest, because it's just not something an individual not so much should do. We know they shouldn't do it, but we can sit here all day long about why, you know, but the fact of the matter is there's a lot of people doing it every single day, every single week, every single month, every year. I mean, yeah, it's just astronomical, and to prevent it, I've gone off path a little bit. I do apologise. It's just really, it's really hit home watching that tonight and relaying my video on the 10th. You know, it's an extremely difficult subject. You know, as human beings, you know, there is a common fear growing up of, sorry if I'm going to say it, I have no choice, but there is a common fear about dying. You know, we don't want to. You know, we get to a certain age where it's common, the cycle of life hits us. In 1987, I lost my granddad, and the next person I lost close to me growing up was my dad in 1st of April 2 years ago. You know, that's an awful long time without experiencing that loss that close to me. You know, and then within 18 months I've lost my dad, my mum, and my dad's brother, my uncle. You know, so you could argue that they're dropping like flies, but you know, the fear behind it is very common, especially in I'm a male, I'm a man. I talk for men, if you like, boys. It's very common amongst boys, that fear, you know, and it's also common. There's a dangerous age for, I believe it's 13 to 17-year-olds, you know, so yeah, it is. How do you prevent it? I don't know, but the starting point is to talk openly. Don't have a fear of expressing your feelings. You know, I've been encouraging my kids to, when it comes to your feelings, then providing you deliver it in the right manner, then have no fear about sharing your feelings. They're personal to you, and you're entitled to express your feelings, you know, and then their mum encourages them to talk as well. Fantastic mother, and, you know, having that foundation behind them, you know, and the encouragement to talk, be open about it. They're aware of my channel, they're aware of what I do, they're aware of why I'm doing it, and they encourage it, they support it. Again, as I said in the previous video, they're aware of some of the things I've gone through, because they've been there and they've backed me and they've supported me. They've been a rock. But the full content of what I've been going through and possibly why, I haven't gone into too much detail with them. You know what I mean? They're my kids. There's a duty of care. There's protection that I've got to give them, you know. So, but if they ever go through something, I believe in my heart that I've gone through enough to recognise the signs, and along with starting the conversation for 2023 for World Suicide Prevention, I think there's got to be education on recognising, you know, as Mick said, you know, Jonny Gascoigne, Sheffield United fan, sad times, you know, and he did put a video out there which I'm going to speak to Mick and see if I can get permission to plug that video that he not so long ago put out there on his own mental health and encouraging people to talk. And he rightly said in his video, if you need that kick up the arse to reach out, then this channel is going to continue to kick arses and get people to talk, because it's the starting point of getting rid of stigma. And if I've got to keep repeating it in every video I do, be it verbally or in the description, then it's going to be said. So I'm going to continue on that, and it is one of the ideas behind the channel anyway, is to encourage people to talk, not be ashamed, not be embarrassed, not be in fear. You know, if you want to reach out, I'm here. You know, I do have the luxury of a 4-on 4-off shift, so you know, you can reach out. There's other forms of support. There's loads. There is absolutely loads. So I just wanted to put this out there tonight. It has got to me a little bit. It is a very, very, very deep, hard subject to comprehend. I don't think as human beings, if we're not going through it, we would never fathom it. And I think that's another reason why it's so difficult, because we can never understand, you know. We can't understand what another person's going through if they don't talk. If they talk and they share, then we can empathize more so if we've gone through similar, or we've supported someone who's gone through similar, you know. So, but if not, then to be empathetic on something, to empathize on what another individual is going through, can be extremely difficult. But with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of learning, studying, get to know these different disorders and trigger points, and you know, teach our kids. That's the other thing that I've said in a previous video back along, what I've done in Somerset. You know, it's our duty of care to pass this knowledge on. If I don't believe a stigma is generational, and we're not going to get rid of it in my generation, but the work we're doing towards getting rid of it has given a huge foundation for the generation below us, our kids, and they've got a huge possibility of ridding this stigma. But the work we're doing it goes an awful long way to ridding it. And the people, you guys out there that are pushing it, keep going. When the chips are down, just take the hit and go again, get back up, dust off. Pretty much like whatever you're going through in your mind, the guys who are suffering with mental health, you know, a lot of it is like the weather, you know, it will change. It does change, it does get better, it will get better. And just positivity, believe in the process, believe in your path, believe in your healing journey, and just have that strength and have the courage to fuck everybody else. Sorry for swearing, but you know what? It's not about anybody else. It's about you. I've been asked numerous times on my healing journey, how long did it take? It's not about time. The only respect time has is your time. It ain't nobody else's time. It's your time and your time alone. It will take as long as it takes, and as long as you allow it to take. You know, changing your thought processes isn't an easy thing to do. But that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to change mindsets. And that is a difficult thing to do. For the individual going through it, you've got to invest in it. And when the going's good, you get complacent, as I've said in previous videos. That's the time where you need to invest that little bit more. That's where the push comes into it. you know. And I mentioned in the bereavement video that I miss my dad and I've needed that kick up the arse, you know. So any one of you who recognise someone going through something, if you're close enough and you know them well enough, and I mean you've got to really know them well enough, be it you're a parent or a sibling, a cousin, a best friend, you're entitled to give that kick up the arse. And it's only you who's going to be able to do that kick up the arse. Yeah, don't hold back on the kick up the arse. Don't kick too hard because it does hurt. You know, you're the guys. You're the ones who give that tough, brutal love when it's really needed. You know, don't just dish it out for the sake of dishing it out. You know, we do that in banter, you know, but as you're aware, there's a time and place for banter. This is on a serious note. So you're entitled to give that kick up the arse, but don't hold back on it. Do it. Do it and let them know why you're doing it. And be patient, be kind, have them human qualities, which I've said in previous videos. You know, so guys, just be aware. Get educated on the signs, what to do, how to do, when to do. It is on us. It is on us. We can bring these numbers down, and we will bring these numbers down. And my channel's going to keep pushing it out there. And you know what? I'm just a small fish in a huge, wide, open ocean. But I'm going to continue to do it along with everybody else who is doing it. There's a lot of good people out there that are pushing this agenda, you know. So get supporting, get talking, be brave, have the courage and the strength to just talk and reach out. You know, you're not alone. You will not be judged. Okay? I know there's a lot of fear behind it and it's difficult sometimes, but just find that strength within and reach out, because you will never ever regret the day you reach out and the day you start talking. It's the start of your life to healing, recovery, you know. So you get your life back, you start enjoying it again, the darkness disappears. That arsehole in there, he ain't a pal, she ain't a pal, you know, as I've said previously. Darkness breeds darkness. Just get them curtains open. If you can't be bothered to go out, turn the light on, just get some light around you. It's a starting point. And have the courage just to push on and be brave, okay? Guys, on that note, it's quite late. So until the next one, happy healing with Luke, and keep supporting, keep encouraging. Love you all.